Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. So, Gemini, I have a very just unusual because I've never felt it before. When I've come in to sit down and do a reading, I feel like I've kind of entered almost like a sacred space. And it's weird. I'm actually feeling very compelled to ask permission to come into your sacred space right now and do this reading for you. I've got some incense going. And the incense now, before I asked permission to enter this sacred space that I feel like you're kind of in somehow, the incense was curving around the camera. So it was almost as if that would not be allowed into your space unless it was something that you actively gave permission to come into your space. And it sort of felt like when I asked to come in, and the incense kind of came back into a straight line. And so again, I've always assumed that if you're coming to the reading, that you are allowing me to come into your sacred space. But I feel like just actually asking you for that permission, it's probably good for my karma, helping your energy to stay balanced. It has a very interesting feeling that this is a sacred space. So I don't know if some of you are like taking time for sacred space, or you're finding sacred space, or you're understanding what sacred space is. And it feels very mesmerizing. I'm going to have to struggle a bit to do a reading. It feels almost sort of like, it feels trance-like. So what I'm going to do in this reading, I'm going to look at like how you've changed, how you've transformed. And I'm going to look at you then. Then can be a couple weeks ago, a couple months, a couple years ago, and now. And I'm going to do that with some decks that I don't know that I've ever combined before or read together in a reading. I'm going to look at first the archangel energy that you had around you then and that you have around you now. And it does talk about, you know, what this angel is kind of working with you with. Like at the bottom here, you have patience after the pre-shuffle. So patience. So maybe you're in sort of like a patient, sacred space. You're holding... I feel like sacred space is literally recognizing the value of your energy and your space and holding that as sacred, holding that as something important that you have every right to maintain. So I'm not trying to push in on it. And then we're going to look at the fairy deck. We're going to look at the challenge you had in the past to then, what challenge you were meeting, and what challenge you're facing now. So we're seeing how you change, right? And then we're going to go into the Heaven and Earth Tarot, and I'm going to get sort of like a snapshot of then and a snapshot of now with the tarot. And then before we're done, I'm going into the L-Key deck, my L-Key deck, and I'm going to ask for the lesson that you have not finished learning. And then we're going to end it looking at the lesson that you have finished learning, the lesson that you have completed. So your smoke is very strong. Your incense is very strong today. There's at least 3 chambers of smoke that are coming off at the bottom. So are we ready? Ready, Gemini? And this is a very unusual energy because Gemini is usually one of the ones that I walk into and I feel like I don't really have a lot of time to talk. I need to get into the reading like right now. You know, you guys will sometimes put a timestamp in if it takes me a while to get to the reading. I find that very endearing. Maybe you're learning patience though. Maybe this is part of that. Maybe this is how I enter your sacred space and the lesson that you envelop yourself in. It's a general reading, Gemini, so it may or may not resonate. If it does resonate and you're drawn to it, there is an extended. The link to that is at the top of the description within this video. Gemini then and now. angel around them then, the angel around them now. There's your then. Clairsentience. Doesn't surprise me because you guys have had a lot of spiritual readings lately. Archangel Raguel. Notice your reoccurring physical and emotional feelings as they signify divine guidance. So the angel that you had around you in the past was based around you really opening up your gifts, understanding that the way you feel, that this is part of your guidance system, this is part of your communication system as well. And maybe this has something to do with like this energy that I feel like I've walked into, this sacred space, kind of recognizing what your sacred space is, being able to feel your energy outside of energies around you. Because noticing your reoccurring physical and emotional feelings, they're telling you something. They're probably giving you kind of yes or no answers. Should I do this now? It doesn't feel right. I'm not going to do it. There's your answer. The angel you have now. Take back your power. See, that's what I feel like. So I feel like it's really important for me as a reader to respect that. It's just, even though you may have just come to this reading, I'm not feeling like that's enough permission for me to reach you right now. Archangel Raziel, use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. So I'm respecting that for you, Gemini. I'm respecting that. Respecting that. And I feel like maybe you're asking others to respect that as well. Yeah. You're focused, I feel, very solely on this, because it says your God-given power. And this kind of feels like, well, that would be related to that. That would be linked to that. This is a very spiritual power. So you're utilizing that now. You're utilizing it now. And you're using it to manifest the blessings in your life currently, and I would say in the future. Breathe. Archangel Raphael. Why does that sound funny? Raphael. I don't know. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. And then it's like a ton of upright. We're just going to go with the... There you have. I feel like he's been appearing a lot. Like just... I think a lot on the bottom. At least twice already. So maybe just to breathe and exhale slowly. This in itself is releasing old patterns for you. Okay, we're going to keep expanding on it. We're going to look at the fairy and the challenge that you had then in the past. And then the fairy, the challenge that you have now. Yeah, I feel too like there's no joking around in this reading. So it just feels like sacred space right now. I don't know how else to describe it for you, Gemini. So we're just going to keep that going. Challenge in the past. Oh, wait for winter. Oh, shit. During the colder months, the fairy queen of winter will help you manifest your most heartfelt wishes as long as your intentions are for the highest good of all. Now, this is interesting. Wait for winter almost tells me wait for a waiting period. Because winter in itself is a period of time where things are not growing, where things are not, I mean, they're in a stasis. So it is a waiting period in itself. So if you wait for winter, it's like, well, we're in, as I'm doing this reading now, where I am, it is winter, the season of winter. So it's almost as if like even in the fall, you were waiting for winter and then you knew in winter you would have to wait. So there's definitely some sort of challenge here for you in terms of being patient and not necessarily being able to move and expand in the ways that you would want to, and knowing that you are in a season, like with fall too, that is also not a season of growth. It's a season of preparing for hibernation, a season of preparing for stasis. And just hearing stasis. During the colder months, the Fairy Queen of Winter will help you manifest your most heartfelt wishes, as long as your intentions are for the highest good of all. So that might have been something that you were working through there. The highest good of all. The highest good of yourself, recognizing that. The highest good of those around you. How do you accomplish what it is that you want without hurting others or without pulling others from their path? And your most heartfelt wishes. So it also feels like going into a period of deep feelings. Looking into deep feelings through the winter. And it's interesting though, because I'm in the winter now while I'm doing this. You know, it depends when you come to the reading, right? I mean, people can still, they do still come to these readings months after. But the majority of the views do occur usually within the first month of me releasing them. So, and heavier on the first 2 weeks, I would say. So I'm kind of wondering if some element of this reading, some of you are still in what I call the then. And even looking at time, as I'm doing this reading for you now, when you watch it, it will become then for me as the reader, because I will have already done it for you. Time is funny that way with photography and film, isn't it? So, the challenge that you face now, perhaps this now is a bit of your future. Hidden depths. Well, it's very green, so it is coming out of winter. Something hidden is about to come to light. Perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. When we expose what's hidden, we can become free. Oh. Huh. Preparing to release something. Preparing to release or accept something. You're either preparing to release some sort of information from yourself, within yourself, a new understanding of who you are. So something's hidden. It could just be you. I feel like a secret memory at the back of your mind. It's almost like a part of you that maybe kind of became lost on some level in your journey. And remembering it very strongly and very clearly. Take back your power. You guys have had some really profound readings lately. What's at the bottom here? Magical gateway. It takes courage to trust to venture into the unknown. Yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly forward without looking back. Oh, isn't that curious though? Because you have something now about a memory, a secret. That is something from the past. This is a conundrum. Wait for the wait. Don't look back, but remember. This is a very sacred space. And I feel like too, part of it is that I don't want to come in. I don't want to and juju your energy in any way, right? So I don't want to juju your energy in any way, because I can feel that there's a very interesting paradox. It's like you sit in a state of paradox. Someone said, and I can't remember if it was Aquarius or Pisces, they said when they see the incense coming off in the corner, it makes them think that my camera's overheating. That was cute. That's the only joke I'm going to tell them. Let's go to the tarot. This very paradoxical energy. This very sacred paradox energy. But I think paradox is sacred. So you can't really sit in a sacred energy without being in a paradox. The fact that you're a human here on Earth, and perhaps even going through what you're going through, is a paradox. And now, just as I said then, you have the Seven of Pentacles. I'm just looking because they have different titles on this deck. This is Success Unfulfilled, Waiting for the Wait. I'm hearing to do a split, so we're going to do a split here. It almost feels like the way forward keeps changing on you with this and everything. The way forward keeps changing on you. So that feels a bit like waiting for the winter. Because the winter is when you're not really doing anything. And to me, if I was going to, I would put this energy at either, I would either feel spring or fall, because you're making some sort of a plan. In the spring, you're making a plan because, well, the way you've navigated winter is not how you can get prepared for a bountiful harvest. So you need to change that plan, that navigational outlook, and start thinking about the route you need to take, the options available to you, how you're going to apply them so that you can create a bountiful harvest. And then in the fall, you have your bountiful harvest. How are you going to utilize what you have to get you through a period of lack? So it does feel like waiting for the wait. There's something important about the winter for you. The Nine of Cups. I find this so interesting on this deck because it calls it material happiness. To me, the Nine of Cups is more like an emotional happiness, some sort of wish. Trying to create this wish to become a material fact. And now I see why that Seven of Pentacles, yes. You know what it is that you want. You have the dream, you see it, but it's bringing it into the 3D. And there's something about the season for you. I feel so strongly like you know the winter is something you just have to bide your time with. And the spring preparing for the summer. You see something there. Or you have. I don't know where you are in this timeline. I feel like I'm sitting in a paradox with you. The sun. Oh, yes. And that's summer. That's full on summer. We got the sunflowers in bloom. We got the sun out strong. The little baby is riding the horse free and happy. You know exactly what you would like to achieve or what you want, what your wish and your fulfillment of that wish is. And you know that there's something about the season in here. And I can never forget my Southern Hemisphere friends. Because you won't be in winter, so you will be in the sun. So maybe there are more of you that are anticipating. Maybe some of you have a longer cycle to go through. Because there's something very clear here about the winter and the double wait. So now, Justice. It's a nice start. The Tower. Wow. And then the Princess of Pentacles. This is so gentle and innocent all of a sudden. So dramatic with Justice and the Tower. And then the Page of Pentacles. Oh, but my, oh my. The Queen of Wands and the Death card at the bottom. Yeah, that is a paradoxical energy too. It's the Queen of Wands and this Page of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands is very experienced. She knows her shit. Come at her straight if you're going to come at her at all. Something about the fire and the Tower. Both are showing fire. And I think of the fire, it reminds me of the meaning of the King of Wands, that he will scorch the earth if needed to get rid of. And there's a sense of scorch with the Death card to have a new beginning. He will scorch the earth. The King of Wands will scorch the earth if there is no other way to clear the obstacles so that new growth can occur. That's why we're here. It's the underline. So perhaps something has already been scorched through this. I imagine doing that in the summer. It's so keen how your reading is very specific about seasons. I do feel like, Gemini, that now you look, I want to say kind of innocent, perhaps vulnerable, inquisitive, learning as you go, stepping cautiously. But boy, there's quite a power behind you. And I do feel like you wouldn't hesitate to scorch. I'm going to just say, I want to say, this energy reminds me of, on some level, a little bit like maiden in distress, but there is really no distress. This energy is almost there to see how others come to it or try to use it. And then behind it is, all right, scorch. I don't know. I would be careful with any Gemini. Any cross watchers, be mindful of your gems right now. And I don't think you need to be if you don't have some sort of false intention with them. Because they have Justice in the Tower. They mean business right now. I am surprised I don't see the Queen of Swords here. I do feel like as well, like with with Justice in the Tower, something has happened. Whether it's internal here or it is external around you throughout or just in different spots of your life. But there is very much, this is the feminine too. I mean, right, we have the energy of Venus here with the Justice card in Libra. There's a very strong empowerment of the feminine, and what's almost like precious. This Princess of Pentacles is very precious. She's dressed in this white gown. It's clean. It's never been tarnished or soiled. It's still the beauty of innocence, and she walks through the forest with a glow, with almost like heaven sent energy, heaven glowing around her. But there's a very powerful entity that sits behind it. So to have the Queen of Wands and to be able to utilize it the way you're using it right now, and like these are not your natural elements either, Gemini, being an air sign. There's some sort of experience that comes in with this. And I do feel like on some level that you have learned that when you come in seeming like you don't know what's going on, or you don't have the full perspective, or you just don't have enough experience to know, you can tell how people show up to that energy. You can tell exactly who they are. This is a very intriguing energy. I like it. I like it, Gemini. From like a fire sign, I'm like, this is hot. You guys are pretty. You're smoking, but you can't even see the smoke. Well, the smoke just went out. I gotta clarify you. Oh, no, I can't. I gotta go here first. Okay, okay. Okay, what is the lesson that is not fully learned yet by you? And then the lesson that you have fully learned between your then and your now. A lesson not fully learned and the lesson fully learned. And I know some people might not like this, but this is actually allowing people to step into their own truth. It's allowing people around you to step into their own truth. And that in itself is justice and is a judgment that will be called. So on some level, I feel like you strip people down to like their naked self without them knowing it. Some people might call it a trap or a snare. It's only that if you're not coming to Gemini straight. I just want to say that. Okay, now I know why I came into this space and I asked permission. I asked permission for this Gemini. I feel very glad that I did that. Lesson not fully learned. She who hesitates, ponder, delay, and confidence. So there's still something. Are you working on it? Boy, are you working on it? Because I think it's about to come out pretty strong. Okay, what is the lesson that you've learned? She who is wild, untamed, wild, and mysterious. There's the paradox. I was going to say, I feel a paradox in this. Because how can you hesitate and still ponder and delay and your confidence not be strong, but completely understand what it is to be untamed, wild, and mysterious? You have created the paradox. What the hell? I almost want to try to understand this. There she is. Hello, sweetheart. It's who I would describe as the Queen of Wands here. The Queen of Swords, sorry. She who remains. Powerful devotion, true worth. She's the Ice Queen. Oh. I really feel like you will move in your own time, whatever is going on here, and you'll wait for the winter. I need to look at Justice in the Tower here. It's so intriguing. Justice. Oh, crap. The Emperor and the Six of Swords. Man, you are just... I mean... Okay, I wasn't sure what was going to happen with the Emperor. So were you seeking some sort of justice against the Emperor? But I feel like you are allowing Spirit to move you into Emperor energy. You are following your course to Emperor energy. Oh, damn. Yeah, and they're mirrored numbers, these Roman numerals. The IV, the 1V for the 4, and the V1, or I guess it's the I, yeah, for the 6. Mirroring. You're mirroring Spirit. Spirit is mirroring you. Oh, this is something. Okay. And then the Tower. The Ace of Cups, the Page of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. Wow, 2 dynamic new beginnings here. By breaking something down. By breaking something down, you've watched yourself succeed. By breaking something down, you've watched yourself succeed. You've combined water and fire. Which I like, because that creates the best atmospheric conditions for rainbows. Princess of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. There's a lot of balance going on here. Yeah, I think this is genuinely good because you're showing up with all this pentacle energy for this Princess of Pentacles. So whatever you're sort of learning or navigating through, if it does have something to do with pondering, delaying, or confidence, it definitely feels like you are working on that and you are almost feeling it out in different ways, playing with it. Playing with it, but in a very practical, like a physical way. This is just playing with ideas in your mind. This is like doing things. And the Page of Cups, you're coming in with a lot of page, which is really keen because you have these two powerful queen energies. And then you have all this page energy. There's the paradox as well. It is like the child, but it is also the very mature and intellectual and experienced and self-actualized individual. The Two of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles. This feels like I'm not stepping into like what you're saying or seeing or expressing here is I am not stepping into something that either is, I don't want to, okay, I want, the word that wants to come out is highly competitive with this Five of Wands, but it's not right. Like, it's not good energy. I mean, everybody's whacking each other in the head with a stick. So this is just a useless fight. But on the other side is another ace too. So you have all these pages, all this ace energy. So whatever you're doing here, you are creating new beginnings. But you are not willing, at least it's almost as if allowing, this is reminding me a bit of like when you watch a nature program and they'll show, it often happens in two scenarios. It'll happen when a kill has been made, like with predators, and a predator, let's just say a lion, has taken down something, a zebra or whatever, and they're eating it. And then some hyenas or something come in and the lion has to chase them off. And while that's going on, there's an opening that's been produced. Two pretty powerful predators have been taken away from that. And so the vultures or the jackals or something, that's their spot. That's the time to go in and get that. As well as like sometimes too, like in a rutting season or something, you'll see two males competing and females standing there watching them. And they end up like, they're off in the woods and another male comes by and says, hey honey, what's going on? But like, it's an opening. That's what this feels like. Like no, this is not how to get through there. Like, that's what I see. That is not how to get through there. You don't go there when the lion is at the kill and the hyenas are circling him. That is not, that is competitive, but you'd be a fool to walk into that. So it's almost like waiting for something to change. Waiting for the wait. You certainly wrapped my brain around something today, Gemini. That's what I got. That's what I got for you. All right, I'm going to go do the extended. In the extended, I look at the energy that's transforming into your future. So kind of like this, how it's going to transform energetically. And then we're going to look at the future. So thank you so much, Gem Gem. I give you back your sacred space. I take myself out of it. Until next time, to be gentle with yourselves. Bye.